Among the massive array of Super Famicom RPGs that were never released in North America, several games stood out. Seiken Densetsu 3, Final Fantasy V, and Star Ocean all gained critical acclaim, and helped make the Super Famicom into the greatest RPG console ever released. However, some RPGs really flew under the radar for a variety of reasons, and were quickly overshadowed, forgotten, and left virtually unknown in North America. One of these was G.O.D, or Growth or Devolution, Heed the Call to Awaken, which came out in Japan in 1996. This one was created by the tiny developer Infinity, and was published by Imagineer, and almost no one I know has ever seen or played it. The game was unplayable to most of those stateside until 2018, when a translation patch was released. Thanks to dynamic designs, all of us English-speaking RPG enthusiasts are now able to sit down and finish this one. The translation is truly awesome too. Its loads of humor and creative word choices make clear that those who created this patch poured immense time into it, so as to ensure players had a great time playing it. I've left a link to it in the description below in case you want to give it a try. One thing that leaps out immediately about this game is its modern setting. The year is 1999, and you play as a teenager named Gen, who is on summer break from school. On the way to his grandfather's house in Hokkaido, he runs into a group of bullies led by the Brat Boss. After defeating them, he climbs a mountain, where he discovers a hidden passageway with a mysterious bat. When he defeats it, the earth starts to rumble, and aliens. Yeah, that's right, on the cliff of the mountain he observes the approach of 3 alien spaceships, which unleash a firestorm of destruction upon Japan. When he awakens 10 years later, in 2009, he finds that everything around him has changed. And that is where G.O.D truly takes off. For its time, the story was definitely innovative and sets itself apart from everything else on the SNES. I mean, come on, Gen lives with his mother and wears a red baseball cap. Truly, we've never seen this before in any other game I've covered. In another novel concept, the main character utilizes a bicycle for transportation and can ride through towns with it. This concept too is entirely unique. G.O.D's story has Gen traveling to distinct locations in the world to find special objects, which was also a daring and exceptional plot device. We haven't seen it anywhere else. And then, unlike any other RPG ever created, the game features a confrontation with the teenage gang, something never before done in any game of this type before it. Beyond that, G.O.D uses an alien attack and invasion as a critical story element. This choice was so bold that no other developer would have risked everything to try it. In all seriousness, G.O.D borrows heavily from Earthbound. In fact, almost every trope in the game is seen in this one. Playing the game for even 30 minutes makes it pretty clear that it could be accused of being a direct ripoff. It's not a total one-to-one copy, but its thematic similarities to Earthbound are striking and immediately noticeable. In a way, I guess it's kind of a double-edged sword. People that aren't Earthbound fans may find a lot to dislike about G.O.D, but people searching for another game like Earthbound may find it in this one. Throughout the game, you recruit 5 additional characters, with 3 being permanent. Heath is a mysterious former military man with a knack for physical damage. Mina is the ostensible leader of a religious cult with great psychic ability. Basil is an inquisitive monk that travels the world in search of the true meaning behind the alien invasion. All of the characters fall into typical RPG archetypes and have their own personalities. As far as combat goes, this one uses a pretty traditional system you might expect. Players enter commands for each of the characters, and battles unfold through a turn-based system. Unlike many RPGs, your own characters appear at the forefront of an over-the-shoulder, first-person perspective. It reminds me a lot of the Phantasy Star games, and I really like it. Battles flow pretty quickly, and both the combat animations and sound effects are great. I also love the fact that getting new weapons and armor actually changes the appearance of your characters, which certainly makes G.O.D stand out from other RPGs in that era. However, I will say that the random battles of the game are very frequent, even for an SNES game, so players that prefer the ability to avoid battles may not like this facet. Level ups in G.O.D are very significant, and even a single level or two can make a world of difference when it comes to plowing through enemies. As you level up, you also gain new psycho skills, which essentially acts as magic in the game. The equipment system also works well too. The menus are simple, and there's a quick option to equip the strongest equipment, which helps streamline the gameplay. The factor that's truly unique about G.O.D. is the Chakra System, a class change framework of sorts that allows each of your characters to progress in different ways. With the discovery of each God Stone in the game, you unlock a new level of Chakra. New tiers of Chakra unlock special abilities that can be acquired through Cosmos Stones, which are obtained after battles. Eventually, you also gain the ability to link two Chakra together, which opens up lots of possibilities. For instance, some nodes allow special combat attacks, the ability to gain health and magic after battle, and even amplify stat gains upon a level up. The system works pretty similarly to what can be found in Final Fantasy V, where you can arrange special abilities for each of the characters. In my eyes, this system was really effective. The fun that comes in changing your abilities to find out what best suits you is one of the best aspects of G.O.D. The game's soundtrack is also quite fun to listen to. It's a huge collection of 52 tracks, which don't seem monotonous and also add a lot to the experience. I'd describe it as mostly upbeat, with lots of horns and percussion. The songs are definitely well placed in the story, and do a lot to alert the player that something uplifting, foreboding, or miserable is about to happen. Overall, G.O.D. is a ridiculously overlooked RPG that's well worth playing. Those that don't like the modern style may find fault with it, but there's enough in it to make most fans enjoy it. The menu navigation system and quick battles make the game hold up well compared to many others of its type, but the random battles are super frequent and a bit too much for my liking. The battle animations, quirky story, soundtrack, and progression system are its most redeeming aspects, and you'll definitely appreciate the awesome translation. G.O.D. can definitely be criticized for being too similar to Earthbound in some ways, but it still provides enough fun of its own, especially through the Chakra System. It's absolutely worth playing if you're a retro RPG fanatic that's never tried it. Now I want to hear from you in the comments. If you haven't tried it, what looks most interesting about G.O.D.? If you have played it, what was the most memorable aspect? If you like my videos, please subscribe to my channel and click the bell below to be alerted upon the addition of new ones. Also, please join my Discord community linked in the description, and consider supporting my channel via YouTube's Join feature to receive member exclusives, such as advanced videos and complete video transcripts.